Okay. Is everyone doing okay? So I'm just applying the texture paste, making sure it's completely covered. Okay, I'm just going to lift it up. Go. So pretty. Let me show you guys. It came out really pretty. You see that? So pretty. Can you guys see me okay? Yep. Can you guys see me? Yeah, I don't know. I have something happen. I had to start record again. Can you see me, Carrie? Okay. All right. Thank you, Zandra. All right. So you can see here I added the texture paste using the stencil. And what I'm going to do while it's still wet, I'm just going to add some of this really pretty glitter. This is a glass glitter, and this is called Colored Gold Rush. And this is item number, see, 961657. And it's really pretty glitter. You guys could see that. Look how sparkly that glitter is. So I'm just going to apply some onto this one ornament here while it's still wet. I'm just sprinkling a little bit on there. Just really carefully. Just give a little sparkle to the card. It's really pretty glass glitter, and Prima has so many different colors that you can choose from. So I'm just applying a little bit. You can see here, I'll show it to you a little closer. You can see here, I add it to the ornament. So it'll dry. It dries really quick. Okay, so that's what I did there. And then next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer some of this really beautiful ribbon. This is called, or the number is, let's see here, 583019, and it's gorgeous. I'm going to take it apart so you guys could see. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? You can use them as, you know, one whole strip, or you can use them individually. It's really pretty. So I'm just going to add a little bit to the bottom of the card. So I just need about 3 flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out here. So I just need 3 flowers here. I'm just going to snip that out. Okay. Let me just cover this paste here so it doesn't spill or anything. Okay, so I'm just going to snip the edges here. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. And then I'm just going to place it right on the bottom of the card. And I'm just going to add some Fabri-Tac glue. So I'm just going to put a little glue right across. And then just place this right on top, like so. Okay, So that's what I got there. So now we're going to go ahead and work on the Bloom doll, since we got the main part of the card completed. So I'm just going to set that aside. And now we're going to use the Bloom doll. And this is Ginger. These stamps are humongous. They're so cool to work with. I love these. And then this is item number, let's see here, 980511. And again, this is Ginger. And it comes with a sentiment, home is wherever you are. And these are designed by Jamie Dory. Okay, so I went ahead and stamped that onto some watercolor paper. And I also stamped the sentiment as well, because I'm going to have to fussy cut that out. And we're going to use Julie Netting watercolor pencils, the herring skin. And this is item number 576745. Okay, and we're going to do her face first. Now the nice thing about the watercolor pencils that I love is it's very forgiving. You don't have to, like with most alcohol markers that I use, you have to color a certain specific way. But the good thing about with watercoloring, it's it doesn't have to be so perfect, which I like. I'm going to also use the watercolor brushes. Comes in a pack of 2, and this is 580421. So we're going to color her skin on her face first, and also her body. And the colors that I used was number 05. So I used 05. And what I do is, there's a lot of techniques that Prima has on their YouTube channel that Julie shows you how to use her color pencils. So, be sure to check that out. I color it directly onto the paper, just like so. Just kind of like as if you're coloring, in a coloring book. What it feels like to me. And then you don't have to color it completely, just enough to where you cover most of the face. And then I cover the neck here, and then also the back. So you can see I'm just coloring directly onto the paper. And then cover the arms here. So again, this is number 5. Okay, now I'm going to take the brush. There's 2 kinds of sizes. There's the one with a more finer tip, and then this one's a little bit larger. So I'm going to use the bigger one here. So put this one away. It's for more smaller images. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and color. And you can see how it just colors really nicely. So just make sure that you completely cover the face. I love her freckles, because I actually have freckles on my face. I'm not sure if you guys notice that in my photos, but that's why I liked her, because she has freckles too. So I'm just going to go ahead and color. And if you wanted it to be a little bit darker, you can always go back and color it again, which is really nice. So if you think it's too light, you can go back and make it just a little bit darker. So you can get it close. You guys can see that. She's just really fair skin. And then I'm just going to do her body here. So you could see I just colored it once. That's all I had to do. And it's really too easy to just, you can see I'm not doing it all because I'm going to fussy cut around it. So even if I went over the lines, it's okay because I'm going to cut it out anyway. So, and that's another good thing too. You don't have to get exactly inside the lines if you're going to cut it out. Okay, so there you go. Maybe I'll do her just a little bit darker. So I'm going to go back and just add a little bit more. Just make her a little bit darker. It's really fun to color. I mean, if you enjoy coloring, this is really nice. It's very therapeutic, I would say. Is everybody doing okay? All right, so let me just color her neck and her skin just a little bit more. So you can see how I'm just going over it like that. You don't have to be perfect to do this. Just color away. And I always keep see, what did I do with my napkin? I always keep a napkin next to me when I'm using this. Okay, so pretty much done with her hair, her skin here. Okay, now I'm going to apply some blush, and that color I used was, let's see here, number 9, so it was 09. Just take this out here. So it was this one, pink color one. And you can also grab it from the pencil too. So I'm going to do that actually for the blush. And I'm just going to apply it right here, right by her freckles. And just kind of blend away. Give her some blush to her cheeks here. Okay, so now you guys could see that. Give her some blush. Okay, and then now we're just going to color her hair. I'm not going to color the flower because the flower does get covered. So for her hair, I use, let's see, what number did I use? I used 89 and I think 95. Where's 95 at? Here we go. So I used 2 colors with this one actually. So I'm going to color it first with 89. So again, with this one, I do sections at a time. It just makes it that much easier when you're coloring, especially because it's such a big piece that you're working with. You can see you can work in sections, and it makes it that much easier to do rather than just coloring it all at once. I just find that easier for myself. So I'm just going to do this section first, like so. Okay. I think someone's texting me. Hold on. Can you guys hear me and see me okay? I think there's something wrong with the feed. Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and color. So that was, let's see, that was 89 that I applied. I'm just going to color like so. Okay, thank you, Zandra. I think there was something going on with the feed. I'm not sure what happened. So like this, when you're coloring this, it's okay to go out the line. See how I went out the line? That's okay because I'm going to cut that anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. Okay, and then I'll do the top here next. So you can see I'm just coloring. Okay, just go ahead and color. And I'm not coloring the flower, so it's okay if I get some of the watercolor on there, because that's actually going to get covered anyways. Okay, so you can see how nicely it just colors. I'm going to do this section right here. So does everyone have a set of these color pencils? It's definitely a must-have to your Prima collection, especially when you're using the doll stamps. It makes it a lot easier to color. I'm just coloring away here. And again, you can always go back and make it darker, or just, you know, add more color. We're almost done with her hair. Get this part right here. Yeah, I love how big these are. These stems are humongous. And it's nice because you can stamp these on if you want to make like a journal book. I was thinking of making a journal book and putting these dolls on the cover for my girls. I thought that would be really cool because they're so big. Okay, so we're almost done with her hair. I'm just going to do one layer color of her hair. But again, you can always go back and add more color to her hair if you want her hair darker. That's what's really nice. Maybe I'll just make it a little bit darker. So now you can see I'm just grabbing it from the pencil. And now it's making the color darker. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. But you see how easy that was to apply? That's what I love. Just gonna color this. Sorry if I get so quiet. It's just when I color, I don't know if that happens with you guys, but when I color, I tend to get quiet. I guess because I'm just concentrating. I'm gonna try to check the chat at the same time as I'm coloring this. Okay, I'm almost done with her hair. I'm just going back over it just to make it a little bit darker. And as you can see here, I actually ended up only using one color, which was 89. So that's another great thing about these pencils is you could take one pencil and make multiple colors out of one. I think I mentioned that in one of my prior shows. So let me just get this side, and we should be good with our hair. Okay, let's see if I can show you guys. So there she is. She's really pretty. And then now we're just going to color, let me just add some pink to her lips. That's what I forgot to do. And that was number 9. So I'm just going to grab a little from the pencil and just add it to her lips. Give a little color. Put some lipstick on here. And then I'll add some to her eyes. Give a little eyeshadow here. It's kind of like putting on makeup. It's really fun. Well, just give her a little color. And I'm going to color her eyes brown. So I'm just going to use 89 again. And I'm just going to color her eyes. So you can color her eyes whatever color you want. Okay, so now I'm just going to color the headband, and I think I used, let's see, what color did I use for that one? Grab this. Did I use 91? Let's see, I think I used 95. Yeah, I think I used 95. So I'm going to grab it from the pencil. So this is 95. And I'm just going to color her. Yeah, I did. I'm going to color her headband here. It's really nice, deep red color. So I'm grabbing it from the pencil this time because it's such a smaller image, rather than coloring directly to the image. I'm just going to grab it from the pencil. Okay, you guys see that? And then I'm going to color her headband here. I feel like I'm too quiet. Just what happens when I color. Get so quiet. Alright, so she's pretty much done. You can see here, there she is. She's really pretty. She's one of my favorites. And you can see how quick that was to color, which is great. So this set is a definite must-have to your collection. So I'm going to put those away, and then now I'm just going to see here. I have to. What I did was I fussy cut some paper to cover her dress. So I'm going to do that, and I'm using this humongous stamping block. I love this thing. This thing is perfect when you're using, especially the Bloom dolls or like the larger Julie Nutting dolls. This block is really cool to have. And let's see, what number was this? Oh, I forgot the number. Sorry, Carrie. I don't know if you have it on you. The number to this stamping block. So I'm going to stamp to get her dress. I'm going to fussy cut that. So I'm going to add her to the block. Okay, let me set her aside here real quick. And I'm going to stamp hers onto some paper. I think I'm going to give her, let's see here. Let me find some paper. Actually, I'm just going to use this polka dot. So I have this piece of paper here. I'm not sure what number that was. That was number 990480. It's just a little piece from that 12 by 12 paper. So that's what I'm going to use. And then I'm just using some archival ink. So I'm just going to stamp just her dress part, okay? Because I wanted to fussy cut that out with some paper. So you can see I just stamped it, and I'm just going to stamp it right onto the paper. And I love it because it gives you a nice grip. Okay, so that's that. And let me cut her out, or her dress out. So I'm going to cut two sections here. So I'm just going to fussy cut this real quick. Okay, and I'm going to glue this onto her dress here. Let's give it a little color. I'm just going to use this fine tip glue here that I have. I'm just going to apply it. Okay, and I just cut the rest of the dress here. Just give it a little color here. I'm sorry, I'm like out of frame here. So I'm just cutting this out. Alright, okay. So there we go, we got her dress. So I'm just going to add some adhesive here. There you go. Not worry too much about the bottom because that's going to get covered with the trees. Okay, so now we're going to fussy cut her out. So let's cut her out. And I'm just going to cut straight across. I also distress the edges of the stamp using my vintage photo distress ink. So you could do that as well. I'm just cutting away here. Trying to get as close to the edge as I can. And I turn my paper as I cut. I mean, you know, there's no right or wrong way to fussy cut, but it just makes it easier when you turn the paper. This is a really thick paper. Here. These are really easy to cut because it's such a large image. It's really nice. How's everyone doing? Okay, I'm not going to worry about cutting, you know, this little piece right here. So I'm just going to go over it because it gets covered anyways with some flowers, so not too worried. So usually those strands are tricky to cut around. So almost done here. Alright, and I just cut this piece. Just get around that. And then I'm just going to distress the edge of the image with my distress ink. I do that sometimes to my images. Let me just move that out of the way. So I'm just going to distress it a little bit. I'm just using my distress tool here. It just cleans up the parts that I kind of missed when I was cutting. And I like the way it looks too. I do that to a lot of my projects, distress the edges. Okay, so there she is. There's Ginger. She's really cute. So I'm just going to place her on the card now, because then I'm going to layer all the flowers over. So I'm just going to place her right on top. Let's see. You can see here how the flowers here, that's why I add that specific paper, how it just kind of comes out. So it looks like it's kind of part of a dress. So I'm just going to glue her right on top. So I'm just going to use my glue here. Just clean the top here. Alright. So just add some glue to the back. I don't know, my glue got clogged for some reason. Okay, there we go. As you can see, I'm just covering the back here. And then I'm just going to place it on top, just like so. I want to be able to see this ornament that I have the glitter to be able to show. And just place it like so. So it kind of looks 3D. You can see that. Okay. So now we're going to do some layering with some pretty flowers. But I'm really excited because we get to play with the snow paste, the snowflake paste. So I cut out these die cuts here. This is from this die that I have. It's a Dury's die that I found at Tuesday morning. It's the one with the holly. I just cut that on some green cardstock. And then these trees, this is from a Tim Holtz die. It's a on the edge die. It's this die right here. It's an on the edge die that I used. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some snowflake on there. So let me just set her aside. I'm going to use one of Bear's paint brushes. And this comes in a set of 7, these brushes. And this is 962760 is the number. And again, you get a set of 7. And this is number 4 that I'm using. And yay, we get to play with the snowflake paste. I love this stuff. This number is, let's see here, 962906. It just looks like real snow. You know, again, I mentioned earlier I've used several different brands, but I love this stuff. It just looks like it's just so creamy. I love it. You have to get this. If you don't have this, you have to get several bottles of these. This stuff is awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to take my die cut, and you can use a brush. I use a brush. You can even use your fingers. That's how, you know, nice and smooth this stuff is. The texture of this is that you can even use your fingers. I'll get some on here so you can see it. I'll try to get close up and just apply some real quick here. So you can see I'm just dabbing it onto the cardstock with my brush. And if you guys could see that, maybe focusing, get it to focus. It's just really cool paste. So I'm just going to cover just the leaves. And it dries nicely. I mean, dries fast, which is another great thing. Get the last leaf here. And you can see I'm just dabbing it with a brush. This is amazing stuff. It just gives a really nice texture to your projects. I'm using the brush and my finger. Just make sure it's on there. I don't know, I like to get my hands dirty. I don't know if you guys feel that same way. I don't mind using my fingers. This is such cool stuff. Okay. You can see there. See how pretty that is? It's so neat. So I'm going to let that dry for a second. So now we're going to work on the tree, and this is so cool. So I'm going to put it on the edges of these Christmas trees, and it's going to turn out so cool. So just take my brush here and just put it on the edge, just like that. It's like the snow fell on the tree. And it looks so real. That's another thing, is it looks realistic. I mean, it looks like snow. So I'm just putting it on the edges of the tree, just like so. Kind of reminds me when I go to the snow, my family. All you see is just a ton of trees with snow on the edges of it. See that? It's so neat. So I'm going to do the rest of the trees here. Just gently applying it with the brush. Yeah, this is really cool snowflake paste. I was so happy when Prima came out with this. Okay, last tree. See how quick that was to apply, which is really nice. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around so you guys can see it better. See that? That's really cool. And again, that item number is 962906. It's called the Snowflake Paste. Okay, so let's add that to the card. So let's take our card here. So let me just put this to the side real quick. Just wipe this real quick here. I'll get it on my card. Okay, so I'm going to take back my card, and I'm going to add this little holly that we covered with the paste. And I cut it in half because it's kind of long. So I just cut the thing in half, and then I'm just going to glue it closer. That's all I'm doing. So it fits her head better. So I'm just going to add some glue here. Actually, you know what? Let me just use this. It's easier. It's such a thin die cut. I'm just going to add it. I don't add it completely to the entire die cut because I like it to kind of hang, if that makes sense. so it just seems more dimensional. So just glue that on, and then I'm going to take the other half and do the same thing. Just going to place it like so. Okay, and now I'm going to add some Prima flowers on there. So let me get my flowers here. I'm going to use this pack right here, and this is item number 583439, and this is Christmas Eve. I'm going to use 2 of these red ones here. So let me grab the other one here. I got it at Hobby Lobby, Carrie. They have the standard tip, and then they have the super fine tip. It's amazing. Especially with the smaller die cuts, it just makes it a whole lot easier. So I'm just taking 2 of these, okay, and I'm just kind of putting it on the edge of the flowers. So just kind of just place it like so. I love the gold glitter on the edges of these flowers. So pretty. And then I'm going to add this one right here. So you can see I left a little space in the center. That's going to be for my center flower. Okay, so now that pack that I'm going to use for that flower is from this pack right here. And this is item number 583415, and it's called Holiday Lights. Again, it's part of a Victorian Christmas collection. So let's take one. Let's see. I'll use this one. I'm going to use the one with the little musical notes on it. So let's add some glue. I love the little crystals on the flowers. It's so pretty. I'm going to place that in the center. Push that down. Go. That's why I didn't color the flower, because it does get covered with this gorgeous flower. You can see that. I'll show you what I have so far. She's really, really pretty. I like her a lot. Okay, so now we're going to do the bottom. So now we're going to add our Christmas tree that we cut. And you're going to notice here, because on the edge dies, it obviously only cuts the edge. And you're going to see these little edges right here. I'm just going to cut it straight across, okay? So let me just get my scissors here. And I'm going to go straight across. You can use your trimmer, but I just cut it by hand. And then I'm just going to edge it with some distress ink. Okay. And now I'm just going to place it right here, like so. So I'm just going to glue that down. Let's add some glue. I'm just using some, again, some Fabri-Tac glue. Just placing it straight across. And I'm going to place it right on top, like so. There we go. And then I cut, I already pre-stamped the sentiment here, which is part of the stamp set. The home is wherever you are sentiment. I'm going to fussy cut that out. So let me just cut that real quick here. And I just kind of do it in a zigzag style, as you can see here. I'm not cutting it straight. I'm just kind of moving my scissors back and forth. so it kind of goes with the same flow as the sentiment here. I'm just going to cut that out. This paper is really thick. And then I'm going to distress the edge with my vintage photo distressing again. Okay, so there you go. Fussy cut that out. And just distress the edge. Okay, see that? Distress the edge there. And then I'm just going to place it right here. So I'm going to use some glue again. Just glue the back. And then just place, I'm going to scoot it more to the right a little bit because I have to put my flower here. So to make sure you can see the entire sentiment here. Okay, you can see there. Just place it right, oops, right on top of the trees. Okay, now we're just going to add our flower. First, I'm going to add these really beautiful leaves. And this is item number 583491, and this is called the Sleighbells. Really gorgeous gold trimming on the edges of these red leaves. Love this. Prima also has some white ones too. So I just need 2 of them. So I'm just going to cut. Yes, I know I'm using the same scissors. It's bad, but it's just, I don't know, out of habit. So I'm just going to, like I always do with my leaves, I'm just going to place it on top and just kind of make it like a V. So I'm just going to add some glue here. Thank you, Janelle. I'm going to give this card to my mom for Christmas. My mom and my sister. Okay, so just like that. And I'm going to place it right here on the edge. So let's add some more glue to the back. Just kind of put it on the edge here, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of these little tiny flowers, which are these. And this number is 583446, and it's called Rudolph's Nose. So I'm going to take, let's see here, how many did I use? I used 3. Okay. So I'm going to take one of these, this one, and there's different shapes in these, which is really cool. I'm going to take this one, and then a stripe. Looks like I used a striped one. Let me use that one. Okay, and I'm just going to layer them. So let's take the striped one, let's add some glue, just kind of place it right here. I like it to kind of peek out. And then we'll take this one right here, place that down here, and then I'm going to take this one and place that kind of on top. I just kind of layered them on top of each other. And then the last flower is from this pack, and that is item number 583453, and it's Jour de Noel. So I think I'm going to use a different color. Let's see how it looks. Or maybe you guys can tell me which one you like. So I don't have both the yellow one. Actually, let me take this thing out here. Okay, I'll get your guys' opinion here. Do you guys like it with that color? or with this one, or with this one. Kind of like this one. My chat froze. Yeah, I don't think my chat's working right now. Oh, okay. Oh, it is working. Okay, so the cream one. Okay, so we'll use the cream one. And what I did was I took out the leaves in the back. So I just, but save these. You know, don't throw them away. You can use them on another project. So I just always set it aside, and I'm going to use the cream one. Okay. Oh, some of you are saying the red one. Okay, so let's see here. Well, maybe I'll use the red one. That way they get a different color one. How about that? I'll do the red one. Okay, let's do the red one. I like the contrast. The cream. Okay. All right, Janelle, you convinced me. I'll stick with the cream one. Thank you guys, though, for giving me your opinion. Appreciate it. So the cream one wins. So we will put the cream one. Just place that on top. All right, there you go. There's my card. I didn't do anything to the inside, you know, because I'm going to write something. But that is how I created these cards. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me create these. Here's my other one, the original one. You know, the balloon dolls are just gorgeous to work with. And she's my favorite because I love her freckles. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today here live with Prima. I wish you guys all a happy holiday. And I just really love making these cards. They're so fun to make with. I mean, so fun to make. Thank you, Carrie. So all the information will be listed on Prima's websites. Don't forget they have a Facebook. They also have Instagram. They also have a blog. They're pretty much on every social media out there. So don't forget to check them out. And thank you again so much, everyone, for joining. Again, wishing you a wonderful holiday. Again, this is Bona Rivera-Tran, live with Prima. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.